Formula One's 2025 season had it all, from Melbourne to Abu Dhabi, with close racing, dominant drives, strategic masterstrokes, controversies, and off-track glamour in equal measure. McLaren took its first back-to-back constructors title since 1998, with 14 Grand Prix wins from 24 races, while Lando Norris became its first Drivers' World Champion since 2008, after he defeated teammate Oscar Piastri and Red Bull's Max Verstappen at the final round. But it was far from a picture-perfect season, with contentious team orders at Monza, double disqualification at Las Vegas due to excessive skid block wear, and a surprising strategic gaffe in Qatar. Mercedes returned to being runner-up in the constructors' standings after finishing fourth in 2024, with a more consistent season, including 2 wins, courtesy of George Russell in Canada and Singapore. Russell was re-signed for 2026 on a reported multi-year deal after the marque failed to secure its Dutch rival, while rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli had an upswing from Baku, with podiums in Brazil and Las Vegas. Red Bull endured a stunted start, despite Verstappen's opportunistic wins in Japan and Imola, before rocketing back into contention from the Italian Grand Prix, with 6 wins from the last 9 races. Though Yuki Tsunoda proved a disappointment after he replaced Liam Lawson from Suzuka, and was then relegated to reserve pilot from 2026. Williams secured 5th with consistent point scores, and new recruit Carlos Sainz delivered 2 podiums for the team before Alex Albon. At Racing Bulls, Isaac Hadjar went from a tough formation lap crash in Australia to a maiden podium at Zandvoort, sealing his 2026 promotion. Ferrari disappointed again, with a difficult SF25 that couldn't be made into a Grand Prix winner by its technical team, nor its drivers Charles Leclerc and high-profile new recruit Lewis Hamilton. Aston Martin's season was dire, but it still finished 7th ahead of Haas, where full-time rookie Oliver Behrman again shone. Sauber's final season saw Nico Hülkenberg claim his maiden F1 podium at his 239th start, while rival Alpine struggled and finished last. F1 2025 was a disaster for Ferrari and new recruit Lewis Hamilton. Its first season since 2021 without a Grand Prix win, and its 3rd in the last 6 campaigns, dating back to 2020. The Scuderia ended the season 4th in the constructors' standings, with less than half of champion McLaren's haul, 71 points fewer than Mercedes, and 53 fewer than 3rd-placed Red Bull. This despite starting the season with huge expectations that it would be a challenger to McLaren, with Ferrari's car an evolution of the multiple race-winning 2024 Challenger.
It's been principally an architectural development of the car. What I mean by that is the fact that we have tried to boost the potential development of the car by making more space all around the chassis.
Hamilton's Ferrari switch started with wide-eyed wonder as he pulled on the red suit, but his first campaign ended in despair, despite a sprint pole and win in China, with his prancing horse teammate Charles Leclerc the only one to deliver Grand Prix podiums, which he did 7 times. Neither driver is Ferrari's last Grand Prix winner, with that shining accolade still held by Carlos Sainz from Mexico 2024. For Hamilton, it's been a gigantic cultural adjustment, but it remains to be seen whether it's this or the ground effect cars that have held him back from his best at Maranello.
Maybe Lewis likes the cars, the new cars better than the old ones without the ground effect, you know, because he never really adapted to the ground effect cars. And I don't know if it was how the car drives, or is it just that he was off. We will find out next year, you know, because there's no ground effect anymore.
Ferrari can't afford to have another season like 2025. Mercedes was a more consistent force in 2025, which led to its return to being runner-up in the constructors' standings for the second time in 3 seasons, its 4th straight without a title. The Silver Arrows went into Abu Dhabi's final round 33 points up on Red Bull, meaning a perfect weekend alone for its rival would not be enough.
Overall, we are quite pleased with our competitiveness in the last races. We've been having a very good performance with the car, and sometimes we have been able to score an ideal result, sometimes less, like in this weekend we achieved a bit less than we hoped for, but we are very positive in giving our best to Abu Dhabi and secure our P2 in the Constructor Championship.
P2 was indeed secured in Abu Dhabi, despite a tough weekend for the team in the UAE, with George Russell 5th at the flag. Rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli was 15th for a 10-point total. Mercedes' Abu Dhabi woes followed more difficulties in Las Vegas and Qatar, where Russell complained about steering.
The issues in Qatar and Las Vegas were quite different. In Las Vegas, we experienced some issue with the power steering interacting with some of the components close to it. Instead, here in Qatar, it was mainly an observation about the feeling he had. Qatar is characterized by very high-speed corners, so a lot of heavy loading onto the steering. And George felt some asymmetry in the steering response, but he got used to it, and at the end, he was fine this weekend.
But more serious was the post-race online abuse directed at Antonelli following accusations from Red Bull's motorsport consultant Dr. Helmut Marko, who alleged the Italian's penultimate lap off was an attempt to let McLaren's Lando Norris past for 4th place.
For all the team, it's quite disappointing, and we take online abuse very seriously. With the communication team, there's a lot of work on tools and platform to create a safe area for the fans to interact with the team. On top of it, it was great to see on Monday a statement from Red Bull stating their position, and we really appreciated this one.
The pressure is now on Mercedes to again return to being a frontrunner in 2026's regulation revamp. It's game on. Abu Dhabi's glittering Yas Marina circuit has decided its fair share of title fights, with 2025 marking its 14th time as Formula One's season finale. But while Red Bull top gun Max Verstappen dominated the race from pole for his 5th win in Abu Dhabi, his 3rd straight victory to close out the final triple header and 24-round season, and 8th for 2025, more than any other driver. It wasn't enough to claim his 5th straight crown, with the honors going to McLaren's Lando Norris, whose 3rd place gave him the 2-point edge over the Dutchman for a maiden World Championship. Verstappen finished 12.594 seconds ahead of Norris's McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri, whose slim title hopes were also dashed at the final round, despite a strong drive from 3rd on the grid. The night, though, belonged to Norris, who began to show his emotions in the aftermath of becoming F1's 35th title winner. "We did it, world champion. This is for everyone that's been there for me on this journey," a jubilant Norris said. The world was on the edge of its seat for the race start, though, with 3 pilots in contention and a short run to the first corner. Everyone got away cleanly as Verstappen took the lead into turn 1, followed by Norris, both on the mediums, and Piastri. But the Australian on the hard tyres got past his teammate 8 corners later for 2nd. That allowed Piastri to chase after Verstappen, while McLaren protected Norris's crucial 3rd place with a 2-stop strategy to prevent an undercut from Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, who faded in the closing stages. With 4th well short of the podium he was hoping for to end his tough, winless campaign on a happier note. The disappointment is getting a little bit to me on a season like that, and I just need a few weeks break to recharge the batteries and go again for next year, he said. Mercedes secured 2nd in the constructors' standings, but Abu Dhabi was a rough race for the Silver Arrows, with George Russell 4th on the grid, 6th after turn 1, and 5th after he passed Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso on lap 4. The Spaniard was chased all the way by Haas's Esteban Ocon, who came home 7th for his best result since Monaco. Ferrari's Lewis Hamilton fought from 16th on the grid to 8th for a positive end to his excruciating debut campaign at Maranello. Nico Hülkenberg was 9th, ensuring Sauber scored 2 points in its final race in F1 before becoming Audi's works effort. The German finished just ahead of Lance Stroll, who closed out the top 10 for Aston Martin's first double-point score since Zandvoort. To the drivers' standings, where Norris is F1 world champion, closing out the 1,457-day reign of Verstappen. Piastri, who led the standings for 189 days until Mexico, ended his third campaign in 3rd. Onto the constructors, Abu Dhabi cemented the positions, with Red Bull 3rd ahead of the Scuderia. Racing Bulls stayed ahead of Aston Martin for 6th, just 3 points the gap. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.